Hi, so I'm talking to Ted Leonhardt today, who is basically a magnet in the Seattle creative community and had his own firm in Seattle for many years called the Leonhardt Group. How long was the Leonhardt Group in existence, Ted?
I think it was 15 years.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and was sort of the branding and design firm in Seattle for a long time.
Hmm.
And over years transitioned to um, helping other firms find creative employees and did a lot of different roles in the creative world. But now what you do is you help creative people find their way in the world or in this really confusing landscape that creative people have found themselves in. And you consult with them, you help them through all these sticky situations and problems that creative workers are finding themselves in these days. And you could probably describe better the type of consulting that you do. How would you describe your work?
Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, yeah.
Great intro. So basically, what I do is I have one-on-one conversations,
Mhm.
and I talk to individual, leaders, founders of, creative businesses. Typically, they're small businesses, 20 to 80 people. And then I have lots of clients who are just plain individual creatives,
Mhm.
and writers, designers, etc.,
Yeah,
filmmakers, and so on. And fundamentally, it's my work is helping them understand what you need to do to survive. Number one, and then number two, thrive if possible, and succeed, and helping people just kind of understand the fundamentals of making it as a creative in this world.
yeah. And it's been really hard to survive as a creative in this world,
Yeah.
always, but especially lately. Would that be fair to say? You think?
Yes, yes, and no. I mean,
Okay.
because yes, we have turmoil right now, which is causing people who started their careers with one set of expectations, finding that the fundamentals of work today has changed and is in this changing moment. And
Hmm.
so we have to adjust to that change. And the reality is there's more opportunity. I believe there's more opportunity for creatives today than any time in history.
Interesting. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you. And so it's interesting you frame it that way because you write a lot about trauma. I'm working on a book about trauma that I'm hoping to publish one of these days. As you know, big projects, they tend to go on and on and on, and it
Yes,
takes a while to finish them. But
yes,
one of the things that interests me about trauma is resilience, and that you don't wish you had the trauma. Trauma's not a good thing, but one of the things that comes out of it is this strength and this ability to see things from different perspectives. And so I guess I'm not, what is my question here? Do you see that creative people have a different kind of resilience than maybe non-creative
well,
brained people?
my guess is this is we're talking about the whole human population fundamentally,
Yes.
um, and the reality is that if the traumatic experiences when you are young,
Yeah.
if they don't kill you, they can make you stronger.
Yeah.
So if you survive it, you can be stronger. So
Yeah.
it's so we're not recommending trauma for children here.
No, no. Yeah.
And when you think of the kinds of trauma that happens in the world, the kind of trauma that I experienced was emotional trauma. Nobody
Hmm.
tried to kill me. I mean, I got
Right.
spanked and stuff, but you know what I
Right.
mean. Nobody was trying to kill me. So, you know, so so yes, you know, and yeah, and so what happens when you have trauma when you're young is that you are desperately trying to survive it. And so you're tapping into everything that you have at that time, which is not much because you're just
Mhm.
beginning. And you've only absorbed so much of what it is like to be a human.
Yeah.
And you are trying to survive whatever this is going on in your life. And that survival, that process trains you for this, for a professional world where there's lots of moving and changing stuff. And because what I find is that many of my clients, I mean, I have to say, I think most of my clients were trauma victims of some sort or other in their early life, as childhood.
That's really
Grew
interesting.
up extremely poor, or there was violence, or there was alcoholism or drug abuse, or lots of parental changes,
Yeah.
here, I'm here with an aunt, I'm here with an uncle, I'm here with a stranger, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And so I find that to be very, very common. Now, it may be because the people who are attracted to me, you know what I mean, who I
Yeah.
meet are, maybe is part of that, but it seems extremely common.
Yeah.
And it certainly makes sense because in the creative world, we're, we're, we're forever asking ourselves to do something different. We're hopping from this, we're hopping to that, we're doing this, we're thinking of that. Yeah, and we do get in periods of flow and so on, but, we're forever, we don't, it's not like, my job when I worked at Sears, which was wrapping packages. The package came down the chute, you got this, you got that, you put it together, you wrapped it, you did another one, you did another one, you did it all day. You were
Right.
standing on your feet were tired, and then you went home, and if you were grown up in those days, you drank,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was so fucking boring.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, but our jobs are, what you and I have done over the course of our careers is not like that at all.
No,
Yeah.
you need to be tapped into your feelings to
Oh
do that
God,
well.
yeah, and we're forever tapping into our feelings to do our work.
Yeah.
So
Which I think it's so interesting. One of your most popular pieces I noticed on your Substack is one, it's called Becoming Everything Changed. And
yeah,
I'll link to it in the video underneath the video here.
yeah,
You write about your divorce in very personal terms, which could not have been easy to write about and could not have been easy to post about. Um, but you also I think it's really interesting. You intersperse that difficulty with a work difficulty that happened at the same time, getting fired and kind of everything falling apart in your marriage and everything falling apart at work at the same time, and how they're interrelated, which, when at first glance, it's like, oh man, everything fell apart in both worlds at the same time. But of course they did, right? Because that's how life works.
exactly.
Of course it all fell
Exactly.
apart at the same time because yeah, because you were a mess personally and you're going to be a mess at work. That's what I mean, I think we like to have this facade of no, there are no emotions at work and we can be perfect robots and we can fit the corporate script. But that's a big lie we tell ourselves. That is not how human beings work.
No.
And maybe it's just those of us who are in creative fields who don't put those masks up very well. But there's an awful lot of us who are not good at that.
Well,
The
but
emotions
we,
out of
yeah,
everything.
but we humans develop personas,
Okay.
and and it's a good thing because it's how we behave in our polite professional society. We
Hmm.
use our persona to help us navigate that. We
Hmm.
get haircuts, we wear clothes, you know what I mean, we do what we do to project a persona that we feel will be successful with other humans in the world that we
Hmm.
live in. And so we forget sometimes that the persona isn't real, and we can rely on it too much.
Yeah.
And then when it falls apart, we're all of a sudden stuck with the reality of things which existed all along, but we kind of kept it distant with our careful presentation of ourselves to the world.
And yours came crashing down
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
moment.
yeah.
And people really seem to resonate with that piece,
Yeah, I
especially.
got a lot of readers really liked that piece,
Yeah.
and frankly, it was the only piece where I got negative stuff on.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Oh, isn't
Be-
that interesting?
well, people who knew my wife, who loved her, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and the woman who was her best woman at our marriage was deeply hurt by that piece.
Really?
Sure, because she
Yeah.
loved Judy and she felt close to her, and so of course she reacted that way.
Oh.
Yeah, so you know, I, when she posted on Facebook, about it, and
Hmm.
I gave her a heart because I understood it.
Hmm.
You know,
It's so hard because it's your story to share, but yeah, you don't want to hurt the other people involved. Yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Do
So,
was it hard for you? Did you have a moment when you posted that? Was it hard for you, or kind of they talk about the vulnerability hangover? Did you feel that one when you posted that piece?
oh God, yes, I was really
Yeah.
nervous about that piece. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I had never written. I had resisted writing that story for years because I was afraid of how people would see it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Did you hear from people who had positive
Oh God,
response?
everybody was positive. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that one was, I found that one real, I didn't know anybody involved in that one besides you,
Right,
obviously, because I met you
right,
years later, years after that. But
right,
I really thought it was powerful because it does break down that facade of,
right,
our emotions have nothing to do with our work life.
right.
And I'm always really interested in that,
Yeah,
exploring that line of, yeah, we want to be professional when we're at work, but
right.
we are
We're
emotional people.
we're emotional beings.
We're
That's right.
human. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
We're animals. Robin likes to say to me, "We're all just little animals."
Yeah. Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And Robin if you don't mind me sharing, she's a Jungian psychologist. So it's
yes,
very,
yeah,
very Jungian of her. Yeah.
yes.
So I mean, I guess you've kind of answered this, but what interests you about sharing your trauma with people?
Oh, I think. Well, first of all, I have learned that I just love telling stories.
Mm.
So there's that. So there's the ego. There's the great gratification of being able to tell a good story. But there's also people, the community that I'm a part of, it helps them to understand these realities about what life is really like, the
Yeah.
struggles that we really have,
Yeah.
and um, and so telling my story gives them a chance to examine their own stories. That's the way I like to think about it. You
That's
see,
really,
I'm madly working on this, finishing up this book, the first edition of this book that I'm
Mhm.
working on, and my hope is that by me telling detailed stories of my childhood will help them tap into their own childhood with reality and think about how it has shaped them as adult people in the world making their way in the world, because that's what I'm trying to show. This is what the little boy was like and what was kind of going on here. And as he got older, these are the things that happened and so on. And here's how he is now understanding it. So I did not know that I had developed an ability to read the room. I didn't know that. I just used it. You see,
right.
and so all of a sudden I found I was good in getting new business.
Right.
Well, because I was listening to the clients and empathetically engaging with them, and so they felt heard, and they hired me.
I think that's a good classic example of how trauma can impact people in their careers, is that you grow up with some childhood trauma, you become a little hyper vigilant or really good, sensitive to, okay, I need to watch other people. And then you grow up later, you're really good at negotiation because you get into a negotiating situation and you're somebody who can see, oh, that person's open to me pushing a little bit more because you just have those senses from your childhood.
Right. So it was survival as a
Mhm.
child, and now I think of it as attunement as an adult. So the
Mm,
word I like to use now is attunement. So in effect, what we become, what it enables is the possibility of becoming attuned to the human system that's around us.
right. Yeah. And so it's not, again, it's not that you would wish to have had the trauma, but you can pull some good strengths out of it as you
Exactly.
grow up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it almost helps, for me at least, it almost helps manage the trauma to think of, oh, but there are some strengths I have that
Right.
maybe people who didn't have the trauma have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's also weaknesses.
Oh, sure.
And so, one of the things that I need to write more about is the downside and how you kind of gradually can deal with the downside of that experience because you don't come out of this like a superhero able to deal with everything perfectly. You come out of it with these particular strengths maybe,
Yeah.
but you also have some baggage of weaknesses that
Oh,
you
sure.
that you can then begin to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. That I think that sounds like really interesting territory.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so and okay, so here we are in this world with these new technologies that are so wonderfully helpful. I mean, I happen
Mhm.
to just love the help I get from artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
And with my clients, what I'm seeing, what I am coming to believe, is that the organizations of in the future that will be successful will be those where there is real safety for the people who work there. So
Mm,
people who feel safe inside of the workplace, they will do the best work. They will take the creative risks, if you will, because they know that if it doesn't go well, they're not going to be shamed and blamed by the system that they're working in.
right.
And so I believe that the artificial intelligence, which takes more and more of the linear work away and work that can be done by physical robots, in fact,
Mhm.
will result in the people who will be successful in that new world will be the people who are most attuned to the human system and the interactions with others within groups, and the workplace is a group, uh, where you can both do individual work and then you can also do collaborative work with others for a result that gives you the livelihood to make a living.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Have
Yeah.
you seen any examples of that being done well?
Yeah, I have. I can't say who these clients are,
No,
but
but
yes, I have. Yes, I
can you
have.
share like types
Yeah.
of processes that people have done that
Types of what? I didn't catch that.
like types of processes that are being done well?
Oh, yes. Firms that focus as much on their cultural health and well-being, as
Mhm.
well as the work that they do for money for clients,
Sure.
are the most successful.
Sure. That totally makes sense.
So
Yeah, because
they are spending
fulfill.
time every day, every week, focusing on projects that are internal projects only, that are about building the firm and building their own culture.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense because so many people feel when you say the word AI, they automatically feel like their job's at stake.
Right.
So
And
it's hard to even you think about how to use the tools to optimize your processes because you're instantly on guard and worried about losing your job once you start pulling AI into your work.
right.
Yeah.
But if you pull AI into your work to help in your creative work, what you're doing is you're using AI as a place to bounce off ideas,
Hmm.
to do parts of the project that you're not as good at yourself,
Yeah.
to you write a draft and you drop it into AI
Yeah.
and see what kind of response you get. You build your own little AI interaction with a particular section of the AI so it really understands what you're trying to do,
Yep.
so you can do repeated things with it and so on. These are wonderful tools for creatives.
Yeah, just to give one example, a lot of times I have to, write similar speeches for the same type of event year after year after year. And I can pull one from a past year and throw it into AI to say, can you do a quick revision for this year?
Right.
And then you want to put a human brain on it because you never want to have AI give the final product. But yeah, it to give, it can save so much time to give you that first pass of something,
Yeah.
especially when it's something that you do over and over and over again. Yeah.
And of course, learning how to best use the tool is using these tools is really important.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I posted a piece on Substack. Oh, it's probably a year ago now, where I relied too heavily on AI,
Oh,
and one of my readers asked me the point. He said, "Ted, are you using AI in the
yeah.
comments?" Okay,
Yeah.
and and then somebody else asked me some questions about that piece after the fact.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't remember it,
Oh no.
and the reason, of course, is I hadn't written it,
Yeah.
so I hadn't gotten through the process, which would put it into my memory.
Right.
And then I was talking to a colleague at a little event the other day, and he was telling me he was at his doctor, and his doctor was no longer typing in the notes during the
Yes.
session
Hmm.
because the AI was recording it and doing the
Yes.
notes for him. And he said the downside is he can't remember. He can't remember what his thoughts were after the fact.
Oh, the
Because he
doc.
didn't type, yeah, because he didn't type it in
Oh.
himself, you see, so he didn't run it through his own head.
Oh, I'd never thought of that. I know it
Yeah.
like it can save doctors time and then patients say they get more eye contact or
Yeah,
the up.
no,
I
it's
hadn't
not,
heard about it
yeah,
impacting their Oh, interesting.
yeah. So he said, basically when the new patient, in the old days, he wouldn't have to even refer to his notes because he would remember,
Sure.
and maybe he'd look at the notes quickly, but now he said he has to actually read the notes carefully because he didn't write them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna change things like for good and bad,
So it's
right?
important to figure out how to use the tool. I mean, that's
Yeah.
these tools. That's
Yeah.
all.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting you mentioned memory because a colleague of mine found a study, and I don't remember where the study came from, but she said she'd heard that people who read content that's exclusively created by AI without any human editing, the readers tend to completely forget it 30
Huh.
minutes after reading it.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So that always makes me want to make sure I put a human brain to it, at least a little bit,
Yeah.
because um, it's, yeah, you don't want people to forget what you write.
No.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's,
That's
yeah,
not the point.
no, absolutely not. So you mentioned your book. I want to make sure we talk about your book. What is what is the plan with your book?
So I just I came up with 6 different covers.
Yeah,
I sent them out to my Substack readers and my email readers and so on, and got wonderful response,
that's amazing.
which was really gratifying.
Yeah.
And I mean I've gotten a couple hundred responses. Uh,
So,
where people write me notes, sometimes, and also people actually suggesting other covers. So I have 4 or 5 people actually design new covers for me.
oh, that's great.
Very sweet.
That's so fun.
And anyway, so I have uh, I have sent the interior of my book off to the printer, and
Okay.
now and the next thing I'm going to do is going to send the cover off after I make a decision,
That's great.
and then I will get 25 copies.
Hmm.
So I'm only printing 25 this first time.
Okay.
and I'm going to use those 25 to try and get endorsements. So I'm
Okay.
so I'm hoping to get endorsements from people that have a media presence of some sort.
Oh, that's a great plan.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get endorsements both in the mental health area
Yeah.
and trauma and adoption people and so on, and other therapists that are kind of interested where it overlaps.
Sure.
And then I'm hoping to get endorsements in the design area also. So
Okay.
I would use those 25 copies to send to those people and to solicit endorsements. And then if I get endorsements, I will get endorsements. This is a
Yeah.
question of who. And
Right.
and then I will put those endorsements on the book because it has none on it now.
Right.
And then I will print the second round.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so that'll be a few months away probably.
Okay.
Yeah, because I won't get these 25 copies until, I don't know, a week and I think kind of in like 2 weeks. I think I'll get the 25 copies if I can get the cover in soon enough. And
Okay.
then and then I'm going to an event called the Chuckanut Writers Conference, which is put on by Village Books here in Bellingham. And I have meetings with two different literary agents.
Oh, that's great.
And so I will have a hard copy of my book, and I'll have be ready to say what I say about the book and see if I can get some interest from the traditional publishing world.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we'll see, if
Yep.
that happens or not. You know, I, I'm, I'm strongly oriented to self-publishing at the moment because of the amount
Yeah.
of personal control I'll have over it.
Yeah.
But if I could get a mainstream publisher, big time mainstream publisher, it might be worth it to give up some of that control. So I just have to wait.
Yeah.
I just have to weigh that.
Oh, well, I'll be really curious to watch your publishing process.
Yeah. So I will. My intent is to write a synopsis of what people said about the covers,
Okay.
and over the next few days, and putting that out there,
Yeah.
and then of course the other thing that's happened is I've realized that I need to add some chapters to my book that I didn't include. Some I have not written yet,
Okay.
and both on the childhood end and on the professional end, I have a whole bunch of ideas that, of course, come up since I put the
Yeah.
guts of the book together.
Yeah. I'm in a workshop right now with a writer who used to work for This American Life. Stephanie Fu, she wrote a
Oh,
book.
cool. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And she's a genius at narrative structure.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I have ideas. Oh, my light went on. I have ideas on revision of the structure of the book now, of course. So I can identify with you needing to add new chapters
Yeah,
because there's always revisions to do, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what happens is you get feedback and you learn things as you go along,
It improves your process.
and then you adjust it accordingly. And the
Yeah.
technologies today allow that. So
Yeah. So it's been amazing though. I should share with people some of the feedback I got because I'm sure there's lots of people working on books also in the world. But as you were talking, I wanted to make sure to call out where if somebody's watching who's in the mental health field or in media and wants to give you an endorsement, where should they contact you?
at my email, send me an email.
Okay.
Or reach me on LinkedIn, or,
Okay.
or, or through Substack.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, and my email is public. It's on my website. So
Okay. So
yeah,
just
yeah,
reach out to you anywhere.
yeah,
No
absolutely.
special
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Okay. Great. Um, yeah, so this is very exciting. I can't wait to see your book come together.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think those are all my questions. What else should I have asked that I didn't ask? Is there anything
Oh
you want to make sure
gosh.
to talk about?
I think the broad subject of, if you think about history, the whole world of being a creative professional is very new.
Yeah.
And, it didn't even exist in the 1850s.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it really didn't exist. I mean, there were publishers and books, and
Yeah.
so there was that kind of creative going on, and there were people, beginning to do photography and so on.
Hmm.
But it was brand new, and very few people were employed doing it. Now there are huge numbers of people employed doing what you and I do,
Yeah.
and that is a vast difference.
Oh, that's really, I hadn't thought about that before.
Raymond Loewy, who's one of my design heroes, he designed the cold spot refrigerator for Sears.
Oh,
And it sold so successfully that he was put on the cover of Time magazine. And it showed the world that design could really have a huge impact on
sure.
production.
Sure.
And of course, how did Raymond Loewy design the refrigerator? Well, he and his design team talked to lots of people who used refrigerators, mostly women,
Mhm.
and they incorporated what they had to say in the design of the refrigerator,
Sure.
and they made it beautiful in the design styles of those times. He said, we're talking the 1940s, I believe. And anyway, Raymond Loewy ended up on the cover of Time magazine twice.
That's amazing.
Steve Jobs ended up on the cover of Time magazine twice. Those are
Okay.
the only two creatives I know of who've ever ended up with that kind of, notoriety. Now, Time
Great.
magazine no longer has this place in our society that it
No, it
had
doesn't.
in that
Yeah.
time period. But anyway, we're in a time where what we do now is everywhere, and the
Yep.
technology of digital and the communications of internet, and then now artificial intelligence makes possible lives in the world of creative services vastly wider than ever before. I have a client who was an amateur musician on the side all of his professional life, and he worked in marketing as a marketing professional. He never put the two together all of his working life up until now. And now, because he has a home studio where he made music for himself, and he's very tapped into the new technology that gives you tools for making
Hmm.
music, with
Hmm.
software and now AI, he's now helping people launch products in that category with his professional skills as a marketer and his so-called amateur skills as a musician.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And he's, you know, got a gig
And probably having a lot more fun.
and having a lot more fun. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
And you
that's
see,
amazing.
that kind of stuff is possible now. It was
Yeah,
never possible before.
right. And this is so great because I think it's going to give a lot of people hope to think about those possibilities. Because I think a lot of people are disillusioned with the state of the work world right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I have clients who grew up in extreme poverty,
Hmm.
where they were, their lives were at risk, building firms full of happy people doing cool work for giant
Yeah.
corporations, really busy doing cool stuff.
Yeah. So it is possible to have a happy workforce.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So one final quick question. I want to ask everybody, trauma can make people struggle to have fun because we get caught up in survival mode, we get hyper vigilant. And so I just like to ask everybody, what's one thing that you do for fun just to help inspire other people with trauma how to have fun?
Well, I love to draw.
Okay. Yeah,
And so because I
that's
love
great.
to draw, when I write a story, I always draw a picture to go with the story.
You do. They all have your pencil illustrations, don't they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I started life as being able to draw, and I'm still doing it. I'm probably better at it now than I was then. And um, and I love to draw, so I draw all the time. And I help my youngest grandson, who is 18.
Yeah.
I help him with his drawing.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and and so to me, it's like, incredibly fun.
that's great.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that.
sure.
My sister and her kids are great artists. I can't draw at all, but I love seeing the art from other people. So,
Yeah, cool.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Ted. I really appreciate your time
Oh,
today.
God, Jessica, this was great. I really appreciate it. And fun to see
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
good. I'm
yeah,
so glad.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Well, bye.